And we're live.
I I was thinking about this. I just came into my head. Do you remember anything from school that you were taught? Like, what's the biggest thing you were taught in school that's now totally debunked? Because I know all
Oh,
of us were taught that Pluto was a planet,
yeah.
and then
Uh,
like maybe 4 years. No, it's like 5 years after they taught me Pluto was a planet. They're like, nope, changed our mind. Like,
I want to say
that's
diet stuff has changed a lot. It's
yeah,
changed
that
so
changes every
much over the
3
course of my
years.
lifetime that I no longer like trust any of it. The new thing I keep hearing, and the people who say it are absolutely douchebags, is this like, well, it's the law of thermodynamics, right? Calories in, calories out. That's just the only fucking answer there could possibly be. Oh my god, you dick shit. Like, the human body processing different kinds of energy and keeping some of it, shitting out the rest is a lot. Like it doesn't strictly follow the law of thermodynamics. Like it's not that obvious, right?
But what is the variance? Because
There's
that's
some
highly
things that are going to
important.
pass right through, right? That the body just has no use for, like the outsides of fucking corn. The notion that, oh, calories in, calories out. A calorie is, if I have my thing right, you dehydrate it, you burn it, and you see just how much it can raise the temperature of water, right? Like 1 calorie raises 1 cc of water by 1 degree centigrade or something close to that.
Very close to that, yeah.
Yeah, but there are some food, like for me in particular, frosted mini wheats seem to have very little time here in Woody Land. They like, I don't know
Well, it's
that
a lot of fiber. You're getting a lot of
it
fiber
is
there.
exactly.
Here's what I
But
think.
fiber's
Here's what I think.
flammable as fuck, right? So I don't know that you can just say like the frosted mini wheats, for example, would burn very completely and heat up water just totally well. But I'm just saying that the human body is a little more complicated than how well it burns in its dehydrated state. And I'm confident in this. Go forward 5-6 years, and the notion that everyone clings to now with so much like cocksuredness is going to be dismissed for the next one.
So I disagree on this one because I think the deal is this. I agree that our bodies are more and or less efficient at processing certain types of foods, kinds of foods, depending on maybe if you drink, maybe if you eat that hamburger and then consume a gallon of water right behind it, there's a different effect with a caloric intake, fat
Compared to no water. Could be, right?
Yeah, could be. But my point and my thought process on this is that the difference is so minimal that over the course of, say, a 3-month-long diet, it's minuscule. Like the difference in weight gain and weight loss between the individual who was more efficient than normal and less efficient than normal is like a pound or something. Like I think we're talking about the difference in like an engine that spark plug skips one that skips 50 times a day.
like to tag on to what you're saying. Like, I don't remember where I read it.
Wasting a little.
I don't remember where I read it, but to like add on to what Kyle's saying, I saw something that was like, the difference between a good fast metabolism and a slow bad metabolism is way, way smaller than people think. Like it was saying there's like a 300 to 400 calorie difference between a real, no, I know, but most people think like that person can eat 2,000 calories a day and I can only eat 1,000. Like it's like 300 calories is really only this container of peanuts right here per day. And yeah, that adds up quick.
So I got a couple things to say. Yeah. One, 300 calories a day, you said 300 to 400, but we'll take the lower number, is gigantic. Like when people gain weight, they're gaining like 10 pounds a year
the biggest
over
amount.
The course of like 10 years, and now all of a sudden they're 100 pounds overweight. The example you made is every 11 days they cut a pound. Like that is ginormous. That's not actually a small amount of calories. I know you said that's the high end, but whatever. And the other thing is, like I suspect, and I'm not a scientist, that they're going to that at some point they'll go back to like, oh yeah, 150 calories from like trans fats is a totally different thing that your body very efficiently like turns into ugly fat on your belly compared to 100 calories from an apple. Then that it's not as simple.
But I think that getting bogged down into this in the science of it is a mistake, and it's something that people who, and I'm not saying this about you because we're just trying to understand the science behind this. It is an interesting topic. I think that fat people are very likely to start looking for these complex scientific biological explanations for why, these excuses for why this happened, that happened. Sure, maybe you do have a slightly slower than normal metabolism. Well, dude, that means that I get to eat a bag of peanuts once a day and you don't. That is your new life. It's not as if I told you, nah, dude, you get 1 meal a day while everybody else gets 3. You're on a starvation plan for the rest of your life because your metabolism is so slow. That's what they want to make you think. They want to make it seem like, oh no, I eat 3 pieces of cantaloupe for breakfast and some oatmeal, and then I have brown rice and steamed fish for lunch, and then for dinner I have apple slices for dessert, of course, but usually dinner is more brown rice and maybe a bit of grilled beef, but I drain all the fat out and I drink a gallon of water a day. But my metabolism is just so slow that I put on 3 pounds doing that. That's horse shit. That's just
it's
horse
like
shit.
you're being a fibber. Yeah, it's like people who are fat also.
By the way, that's what you should be
wildly-
eating, fat people. What I just listed, you're probably like, well, that's not a meal. That's not a day's worth of food. That's literally what you should be doing. But that's your diet. Do it.
Fat people also really underestimate how much they're eating, and thin people, like you've known thin people before. We all know that rail of a guy who's like, I just can't put on any weight. I had a friend who was 6'4", 140 pounds. 6'4", 140 pounds. He was a rail. And every time we talked, like when we saw each other intermittently, be like, hey, I thought you were going to start working out or something, man. Like, you're real thin. He's like, I just can't put any weight on, dude. And I hang out with him for a couple days, and it's like, yeah, no shit. Like in his head, he's like, God, I've been eating all day. Like we just finished eating, and now you want a snack? But in everybody else's head, it's like, dude, you ate half of your burger, you ate part of your chicken breast for dinner, and then as your big splurge snack, you had a regular size Snickers at 11:30. And in his head, he's like, oh, Snickers, like of course I'll get fat. And then the fat guy, on the other hand, is like, well, if I have 13 apples, it's still only, I don't know, 60 calories. So I'll just do that. Actually, I'll just grind them up. That'll make it easier. Add a little bit of sugar. I'm not a savage.
You know, candy apples are good, and I've got the
candy. I have a friend who actually couldn't put on weight. He had cystic fibrosis. And
now that is a fucking excuse.
Now that's a different thing.
That's
right?
a disease.
Yeah.
So he,
you come to me and you're like, oh, I have muscle wasting disease. It's
something
terrible. I'm like, oh shit, I understand.
Something about cystic fibrosis. There's like phlegm in your digestive system that stops your body from absorbing like other bodies do. And he had all these enviable doctor's orders, like, you know, you got to eat more steak. He's 16 years old. Like, do you like beer yet? You can drink a lot of beer if you want. And yeah, you know, because it was a health hazard for him. He had to work hard to have any kind of body fat at all.
Yeah, beer probably makes a lot of sense for cystic fibrosis people because it's like drinking a sandwich.
Liquid bread. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that's the way to.
Bread.
So
I was if you want to gain, and peanut butter, I think peanut butter. Like if I was trying to like actually gain weight, like fat, like you need me to be 40 pounds heavier in a couple months, I'd be on that peanut butter and jelly diet, man. It doesn't get much better than that.
Peanut
It's
butter's one of my nemesises, man. Like so here's the thing. Like you take something healthy like celery or apples and I eat them and I don't find like I was hungry beforehand and I'm hungry afterwards. Apples are bullshit, right? But celery is bullshit. But you put some peanut butter on either one of those things and it's delicious. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I'm not hungry anymore. A little celery and peanut butter, which is what I had before the show, like to make it to dinner. That shit is awesome. But I think I might be violating the point of the celery when I put peanut butter on it.
No, definitely not. That's the whole point of the celery.
Peanut butter is good for you.
It's just a shovel for peanut butter.
It's just a peanut butter shovel, and you get all the fiber from the celery. Right?
There's a lot of protein in peanut butter. There's good fat in there. You just don't want to eat too much of it. Like a tablespoon of peanut butter a day might be a doctor's order. You know, like I love peanut butter. I feel I love peanut butter. I could eat it with, you know, Joey Tribbiani on the TV show Friends, which I despise. He was like, you ever have peanut butter fingers? And they're like, what's that? He goes, peanut butter fingers. He just dips his fingers in the can and just eats it right off his fingers.
I use a spoon.
Yeah, I've used a spoon. If I got some milk, I'll sit there with a spoon and eat that shit sometimes.
I've eaten embarrassing amounts of peanut butter straight from the container. Like other people eat ice cream. Yeah. I will sit and eat peanut butter if I didn't mind being a big fat fuck.
What kind? Because it matters. Creamy. I mean, what brand?
I switch around. There's a natural Jif that's good. There's at the Whole Foods some like
the no sugar
doctor
added?
whatever the fuck or some kind. it's like the all natural kind. I don't
Is
like
the
that
kind
as
that's got
much
the
because
oil
it gets like
separated on
oil.
top?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of oil on the top, and it's like I don't want an ordeal here.
You-
Just make this easy.
Now, you want that oil because the presence of that oil means that they haven't put some fucking emulsifier in your food to keep it all together. That's a good sign. That's just like with cheese. Like you should never buy grated cheese, especially Parmesan. The law says that they can include like 15 or 20% cellulose in your Parmesan to keep it from sticking together. Does everyone here know what cellulose is?
Plastic?
Yeah, that's just
Wood. Wood.
Okay.
Wood fiber. They
wait,
put
it's just
wood.
a plant cell wall, isn't it?
They're putting wood chips in your fucking Parmesan to keep from sticking together, and the amount that they can put in varies greatly, and it's like olive oil as well. You're not getting legit olive oil unless you get really expensive olive oil. But grated cheese, all grated cheese that you buy in those bags, the reason it's not all stuck together, we've all probably grated cheese from a clump, from a brick. You'll notice that it sticks together, and if you squeeze
You
it
could
just
make
a
a
little,
snowball out of it if you wanted
you
to.
can make a snowball out of it. That doesn't happen in those bags of cheese. Do you know why? Because they
Cellulose.
coat them. They
Yeah,
coat them.
cellulose.
I don't think. No, I don't. In that case, I don't think it's cellulose.
I
in that
thought I
case.
had it. Fuck, man. You know?
The cellulose, I believe, is
Bait and switch.
specifically the wood pulp or whatever is specifically a Parmesan thing for whatever reason. I guess it just goes well with Italian food. But
You know,
but
you really
they
yanked
coat.
that football away from Charlie Brown,
Yeah.
Lucy style on that one. You know why? Like, yeah, I've been paying attention. This is the thing I know.
It was cellulose.
Wrong.
You're wrong. I'm not so sure on that anymore. You know?
Yeah, they coat it in some stuff. There's an added thing. They're spraying on those fucking cheese pieces that you're consuming. You know, you don't want that going in your body. I don't know what it is. This is coming from someone who consumes saccharin though. So
I have a peanut butter story. So I'm in like 4th grade, right? So I'm maybe
that poor dog.
9 years old. And we're going on a field trip. So everyone's super excited at school, right? Because anytime that you're not doing school is a good day, right? That's the ultimate in
Yeah,
education.
definitely.
And we're going to this place that manufactures peanut butter. So at first, like, we're all excited. Like, fuck yeah, man. Like, I'm going to see where peanut butter comes from, right? And I'm picturing, like, peanuts getting crushed in giant bowls. And I don't know, just, like, magic and shit. And we get there and we find out, like, they're taking us on a tour of the factory. And during the whole tour, he keeps emphasizing that it was healthy peanut butter. And we're all getting a little skeptical of this fucking healthy peanut butter, right? Like, wait.
Yeah, methinks doth thou protest to it.
Yeah, you keep pimping the health aspect of your peanut butter. It's all making us think that it might suck. And so at the end of the field trip, we eat the peanut butter. And sure enough, it sucks. Like, it doesn't spread well. It doesn't taste good. Like, there's nothing good about it. But I was so jazzed about the fact that, like, I had just seen this peanut butter made that I had like a double dose. Like, I ate more than the other kids did because, you know, it's fucking. Did you guys just see it? Like, when they made this. This is the thing that we've been learning about all day. We get back to school, and I forget what happens. Like, a bench falls over or something like that. Like a nothing event, and I vomit everywhere. Like for distance, I'm like power vomiting it. I must have went 8 feet before it touched the ground, and it spread far and wide. There was a cone of peanut butter vomit destruction, and all the teachers like just pissed. They're like, yeah, he probably got too excited about the bench falling over. Right, that was it, you fucking whore. Obviously, this is poison butter that you're feeding us, and that's my peanut butter story.
Yeah, it's this rancid fucking peanut butter you fed us from this organic, fancy, healthy factory that you just walked a whole 30 children through just now. How clean could it be around here? You just walked 30 children through your fucking
that's exactly
food plant.
Like one of those scenes in a movie where, like, as you guys were leaving and you're waving goodbye to the peanut butter man, he's like, "See you later, kids. Thanks for stopping by." And your bus disappears, and then the real peanut butter guy walks in and is like, "What are you doing in my peanut butter factory?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he just runs away. Like, you just got
Otis, get back in them bathrooms. There's shit all over the floor. And wash your hands. God damn. like, that's the guy ladling fucking peanut butter to each child.
That does. Oh man, that sucks, because that would be, as a kid, like, that's like going to a brewery as a child, where it's like, this is a great, 87 nut butter. or whatever they would call it at this place. I saw that today on a Cliff Bar at that gas station. I was like, should I get this hot dog or should I get this Cliff Bar? And it said Cliff Bar filled with nut butter. And I was like, that's a horrible marketing phrase. So I bought the hot dog.
Nut butter.
Nut butter.
That sounds like me when I'm lonely.
They make a lot. They make a lot of different butters, if you
make
will.
About 1 ounce of nut butter at a time.
So a couple everybody. That's pretty.
I don't even know if that's a lot or not. I'm just saying shit.
But so most people are familiar with, of course, peanut butter, and then we all know about Nutella, which is made of hazelnut because it's cheaper, and then chocolate, that is. But they make a bunch of them. I bought some cookie butter one time, and what they do is they take like cookies and they like grind them up and create a butter out of cookies, and it's so fucking good.
Like out of cooked cookies?
It's called cookie butter. It's called cookie butter. They take like instead of peanuts, they like roasted some cookies and fucking made a spread out of it. And we had like a peanut butter and jelly party. We were at Trader Joe's, and they had like a whole wall of peanut butter.
Cookie butter and jelly party?
No. I got many kinds of jelly and many kinds of butter. There was like lots of fancy peanut butters. There was hazelnut butters. There was the cookie butter. And I got like 4 different kinds there was apricot jam and some sort of super organic strawberry jam. And we had a peanut butter sandwich party where we made all these little tiny peanut butter jelly sandwiches and put them on this big tray like hors d'oeuvres. And then we put our fancy hats on and we ate them. Yeah, there's cookie butter. That's the shit. It's fucking delicious. Yeah.
So is it like cookie dough tasting?
No, it tastes like a little bit like Nutella. It's a little bit like Nutella, but it's more delicious. It's not chocolatey. It's more buttery cookie taste.
How high was the dude that blended a whole container of Oreos and then went into the R&D place at work the next day and was like, guys, you gotta believe it. It's gonna seem ridiculous. I just need you to blend all these Oreos.
Orlando,
right?
First of all, this is a Kinko's. The butter place is next door. And second of all, sir, no smoking.
Okay, well then while I'm here, will you tell me what you think?
About this, because I made this too.
Actually, try it. Have a little bit of this first. And then
next thing you know, the Kinko's person's on board with the
cookie
butter.
I was thinking this. Now they're both on Team Cookie Butter.